Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going? We're gonna go over the legs, and to talk a little bit about the legs, a lot of people, especially guys who draw comic art and stuff like that, that's a very necessary part of it. But I know the habit is to draw your upper body, the upper body, the muscles and stuff like that, the upper muscles and stuff like the upper chest. The legs are super, super important. So I want to go over them now, and I really do think there's a lot of value in learning. You have to learn about the legs. And like I said, especially with comic artists that throw in these action poses, you're kind of wondering where they're going to go. I am going to do another tutorial all about maybe muscles that flex when they're moving. I was thinking about that, so I don't know. I'm trying to work that out in my mind, how I would organize that. So let's just go over the leg really fast, just simply as it is. When I draw the leg, again, I'm thinking about it as a simple cylinder, and I'm probably going to have to go over the quad and the lower part first, actually. Usually when I draw the leg, I think of it almost the same thing. I think of it as two tubes kind of connecting at the knee bone. And I literally, when I'm thinking about this, I think of it as kind of like an egg shape there. These two rivets, kind of connecting right there. You know what I mean? That's literally how I think of it in my mind. That's the first kind of stage in my head that I think of. So similar to the arm, but I think this is a little different than the elbow, though. The elbow isn't a floating rib. The elbow's more like a joint, really. Like I'm talking about like a hinge on a joint kind of thing. It's attached. This one has a floating, patella out there, which is that little bone right there. Well, some people dislocate it. It's really screwed up. That kind of connects over here. There's a femur inside, and I think the tibia and fibula. Is that what it is? Tibia and fibula? Yeah. Down here. Actually, it's funny though. My friend. Well, the femur, which is the bone that goes from your hip all the way down to your knee, that's the biggest, I believe, the strongest bone in your body. My friend, skateboarding, I found out today, she just broke hers in 2 places somehow, So she's in a horrible, horrible amount of pain. That's a really bad injury, so be careful. To go over just the general muscles and how I draw them, I would say, let me shrink this down. I'm not going to go over every anatomical thing because usually I don't even think about it. But I like to get the bone inside. The bone really stands out, especially from the bottom portion of the leg. The bone really, especially right here, the shin bone, really comes out. But even more importantly, in the upper leg, in the quad is this muscle up here. You flex it a lot, especially when you're doing squats. If you ever do squats in the gym, you see this top portion of your leg really flex when you bend, you do the squatting down motion. And it's called quad because there's 4 muscles in there. You don't really need to know them all, so I'm not even going to say that my name. If I might actually do a full-blown, just straight-up anatomy videos. If you guys want to just straight-up anatomy, like everything, let me know, and I'll make one of those. But right now, I'm just going to go over the stuff that really pops out. There's a muscle right here, and it kind of wraps. The way I think of it is, you got to remember where it connects. Connects to the top of the hip, and it goes down to the knee area. It all hooks up. But there's one big one that's always in comic art, and that one, hold on, what is that muscle called? I'm trying to think. I think it's called a vastus internus. I think in some books, it's a very big muscle right here. You'll see it huge on soccer players. I mean, that is disgusting on soccer players. It's gigantic. But you'll see it on comic book characters a lot. You know what I mean? That must. And then right here above the knee, you know what I mean? You have the kind of the patella and stuff like that, and then you have this tendon down here from this muscle here, the next one. And I don't remember the muscle, this name. Sorry, I'm not gonna go over names. So, but there is another one that attaches above that, and then there's one over here on this side. No names right now because I don't really know them, to be honest. I just kind of know what they look like. You just gotta know. If you're able to draw them, who cares, right? Then there is a large muscle around there. But remember that shape too. I like to think of it, and this is weird. Okay, get ready for some weird. I think of this shape from the front as kind of a crab hand. It kind of reminds me of like a crab hand. Where one's bigger than the other. Usually the one over here on the inside of the leg. By the way, we're doing the leg as if the person's standing. You know what I mean? Right this way. So just to clarify that, this is the inside of the leg. And but yeah, I always think of it as like a crab hand. I know that's crazy. That's just what I think of it as. Makes by the way, if you want to memorize the shapes of stuff, compare them to something else. Make your own. It's cool. If you got a good one, mention it down at the bottom. If you study anatomy and you're like, oh, that looks like something else. That just shape. And so it straps down to the knee. There's nothing but tendon over here, so there's kind of muscle, and then the tendon doesn't flex. The muscle, like I said, in any case, the muscle is the part that, like I said, flexes, gets bigger, and then the tendon itself is just something that straps it to whatever it's connecting to. So it's more of a relatively flat kind of thing, and the muscle itself is the one that's round, just to clarify that. Muscle, then tendon. Where it attaches. Okay, and then the other muscle over here on the inside, there's also another one right here. That straps into the groin area, And by the way, when you draw the legs, it's going to have this angle to the connecting to the pelvis. It's going to have that Superman freaking underwear shape, you know what I mean? That's where it really connects. There's the knee, like I said, it's floating out there. The knee. Pull down. Let me see if the camera can... Hold on. I want to see the camera, see if we're getting this on tape or not. We'll make sure it's filming correctly. Alright, then we go down here. You got the bone. Now what I usually do is I draw it all the way to the foot, because you're going to have the bone over here. And remember, when you get down to the foot, and we'll go over a full video on that later, but the two bones that stick out, and those bones that stick out are called landmarks. When you're standing like this, if this is his right foot, the bones are going to angle. You know what I mean? Remember that. The bones are going to angle that way. You're going to see them very clearly. Like the side of your heel over here, or whatever side of your. You can touch them on yourself. It's a real easy reference, But they're going to angle that way if he's standing like that, And then I usually pull it up. The tendon's going to attach here, and you got the kind of the calf showing, the calf muscle showing over here on this side, and it's going to come down. And then right here, same thing. The rest of the calf on this side, and it does kind of go into another muscle as well down there. Like I said, I'm just kind of simplifying things by shape. You know what I mean? If you want, like I said, I'm going to recap. If you want a full-blown anatomy video, like you want me to do a full-blown anatomy for artists, let me know. I'm just showing you the general shapes that I see in muscles when I draw them. So let me go over that real quick. If you want to simplify that even, go... Let me see if this is on here. It's a muscle here toward the top of the hip, a hip flexor over here. And I remember these three at the front, I'm thinking crab hand over here. Coming down, small one. Down here, angles like that. Foot, which we'll go over in another video. You know what I mean? Remember these three up front. These three up front are so important. So remember that right there. Also, remember kind of how the knee goes together. That's a big chunk of it too. See, the thing is with the knee, like I told you, remember how I told you this? That's the way the bone kind of goes together. The bone actually has that kind of shape, that spool, that kind of joint thing going on. So you have the muscles inside there like that. That's kind of the way it goes, It's kind of like Legos. I always think of it like that. What else about the leg? That's pretty much, like I said, the biggest thing to remember about the leg would be that. If you were to, on the next video I'm going to explain the leg from behind, but these are the things that I think of that go through my head when I'm drawing. So, like I said, if you want to start, I'll go over it one more time. When I start, I'll start maybe with a tube. Think of them coming together, right? think of them coming together. Then I find the knee right here, the knee joint, or you know, the patella. I know that this muscle is going to strap up there. And that's one big muscle mass, and then this one's going to come over here. Pull this other muscle down all the way, because you can see the shin kind of go all the way down. I'm going to find the angle to that foot. I don't know if you can see that. You can kind of see it. Angle of that foot. Can you see that? Yeah. I'm going to think of the calf back here. It's going to have that flow. And then, remember, it's going to look weird, right? It'll look like some bizarre twisted thing right there. So it's almost like you have the twist and then you balance it out with the muscle on this side. And then, like I said, I go back up here, look at my crab hand. And now I want to build my crab hand into that shape I just made. Remember where it attaches the hip. Remember that side muscle right here? There's always a flexor. This is just from the front. I'll go over from the side in the next video. Like so. And I'm going to time-lapse this so I can shade this to kind of tell you what's up, you know. So let me shade this real quick. I'm going to time-lapse it. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm back real quick. I thought I wanted to talk about this really fast while I'm doing this. When I'm pulling lines and shading, and I know this is a shading thing, I'm using a pen here. I'm trying to pull lines with the form. You know, I know I say that a lot, but I always think of the form of this leg as kind of like, and let's pretend he has a band on. It's kind of the roundness over here of his calf, the meaty part, and then there's the bone part. Like I said, the shin. There's a reason why kickboxers use this part, you know, to kind of kick. Although I know you can end up like a few fighters that break. You can also break that. That's horrific because there's a lot of nerves in this area, so it must feel horrendous. Um, but yeah, just think of that, the shape of the leg. Think of that meaty portion, and then it's going to kind of taper down. See, this is kind of this hard version, and then it's going to go right here. Just remember, one big thing, and especially with the arms, and when you're drawing anything, balance out the softs and the hard. That good balance makes a really complete drawing, because sometimes I'll see drawings and they're too round, just everywhere, round, 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 round. You know what I mean? And like I said, good drawing would really be a mix of both. And some guys do too jaggedy. I've seen some people, like I said, make it work, whatever it is. There's no rules, really, to art so much. Like I said, just principles. But think in 3D. You know what I mean? If you have any questions, let me know, guys. I'm here anytime you want. I'm trying to upload a video every single day on a different subject. Like I said, if I'm leaving a subject out and you're like, hey, what the hell did I just do right there? Let me know. I'll fix it. I'll respond. I'll make even a full video responding to that, like, and really going over that particular thing in detail. That might be something new to do. You know what I mean? Think in 3D, and I'll talk to you guys later. Have a good day. Subscribe. Please favorite this video. If any of these tips helped you in any way, please like the video, and I'll talk to you later.